This class is concerned with search engines and is one class amongst several on this topic. Needless to say, you should consult the other classes to get a fuller picture of search and the ways in which we go about conducting search on the internet. So let's start by looking at some searching tips. The first one is be natural. When we've got a query, the first thing to do is write down the query in straightforward language. Just simply write down the question. What is it we're trying to find out? So that's the most basic way in which we can approach a search. Specify it in straightforward language. So for example, the question could be, is mobile phone harmful? Or are mobile phones harmful? Sometimes mobile phones are referred to as cell phones, mostly in America. So we might type in, is cell phone harmful? Is it injurious to our health? Does it affect us? Does it damage our health? So we have a straightforward question. Now ask the search engine. The query on the search engine could be mobile phone and harmful. Now this is sometimes referred to as a Boolean query. Boolean, named after bool. It's a type of logic, ways in which we can join up or exclude terms when we deal with logical structures. And in this case, we're joining up two parts. We're joining up mobile phones and harmful. So we might ask the search engine, mobile phones and harmful. That could be a starting query to see what the search engines will bring back from there. When we come to capitalize, should we use uppercase or lowercase letters? Well, generally speaking, we always use lowercase. It's probably born out of convenience. We don't have to look for the arrow key to bring about capital letters when we're typing. But generally speaking, we always use lowercase. So don't confuse the situation by mixing up capital letters with lowercase letters. A star will search star, star, or STAR. So when we type in star, it will automatically search for STAR, capital S in the first one. It'll search for STAR, all capitals, the second one, and it'll also search for ST, capital AR, and so on. So we don't need to worry too much about capitals. The search engine will sort a lot of that for us. So generally speaking, we type star unless you really want to search STAR with a capital S. If you do, you specify it as such. Put it in inverted commas and say, I want the first letter to be a capital. Otherwise, generally speaking, we use lowercase. Try to use uncommon words, which may seem a bit strange, but uncommon words will refine our search for us. If we're using common words, then there will be many sites that will contain that as a keyword, and we will have far too many hits. We'll have to scroll through many pages of hits trying to find the right site. So if we can use words which are slightly unusual, then that will help us to refine our search. The more specific results will return to you if we use uncommon words. We will get quite specific results. So scientists, for example, benefit from this, as do chemists and medical practitioners and so on, because they use a very specialist language. and they can type in very unusual words and will get very specific returns. Most people, when we type in something, we type in very common words. If I type in, I'm interested in cars, well, that would bring back an inordinate number of hits, a very large number of hits, because the word cars appears all over the internet, it appears to be. Think a valid and uncommon keyword. So try to imagine in the mind of the developer, you're interested in a certain search. Is it possible to come up with a keyword that relates to that search that might be a little unusual? If it does, it'll help in the search process. It'll help bringing back a more refined set of results. Now, required words. Well, if we require a word to appear, add a plus sign before the keyword. So if I say I'm interested in Ford cars 2013, I'm only interested in Ford cars 2013. I'm not interested in any others. If that's the case, then I would add a plus before the 2013. That means I will definitely get that 2013 appearing in my search results. It'll be in every match, so only sites that contain 2013 will appear in my search results. So I have a required word, or the required, in my case, set of numbers. We could also exclude words, and to do that we simply add a minus before the keyword. Sometimes when we're doing a search, we think we're getting too many sites with this keyword. The one we don't want is just coming up, and it's quite accidental, but we don't want it there. If we don't want it, type in the search again, and this time add a minus in front of that word, and it will not appear. Sites with that word will not appear. Searching tip, well, correct spelling. Be aware of the differences between English and American spelling. The internet's becoming more sophisticated, so we are starting to get colours underneath words which are slightly contentious if we're English or American. So the word processors and the web browsers and so on are starting to colour in under the word to alert us to the fact that there is it's not a misspelling, it's just a regional difference, and we should be careful we got the correct spelling. So when we're conducting searches, be aware that the same word could be spelled differently in different areas. Stop words. Ignore the most common word. The, is, etc. So search engines do it now almost automatically. They ignore certain words. You could type in a very open-ended English expression. I am interested in Ford cars. So it'll ignore a lot of what I've just said. It'll ignore I am interested in. And it'll go searching for Ford cars. So these are stop words. So the search engines are programmed to ignore certain words. If we really want those words in, we can put them in inverted commas and they will be included in our search. So we should add more relevant keywords. The keywords that we use should be relevant to our search, and they should be as precise as we can imagine related to our search. We can use wildcards. So the asterisk, or the star, can be used in some search engines. It'll stand in for some other letter or some number or something that's missing. For example, if we type in fun and type in the little asterisk or star, put it in inverted commas, then we'll bring up funny, funniest, funnier. So the little star here is opening the possibilities for lots of words beginning with FUN. We need to solve dead links. If the search engine returns something like that, which is a dead link, it doesn't go anywhere. But we want to access the site, but it's just that we're not getting a response from that. It's a dead link. Then we could knock off the last bit, knock off the C. Now try it again and see what we get with. We have got a filter here, A, and we've got a second filter, B. Now that may bring up something. It may be that the last bit on the original site, ABC, the C part was redundant. The C part had been taken away. So it may be that B still exists. It may be that B doesn't exist, in which case we'd refine it again down to A. So we could go type in and just look at A, because B and C are now dead links. If we still don't get a response with what we've got on the screen now, http://www.hit/ well, it should be hit.com. Sorry, that's incorrect what I've got there. So hit.com/A. If that still doesn't get us anything, knock off the A. And if that doesn't work, then that whole address is redundant. That whole address doesn't work. So we're searching for dead links. We may start with something very specific, in our case ABC. We start with the C, which is our most specific search. If C doesn't work, we drop it, we go to B. If B doesn't work, we go to A. If A doesn't work, we go to the site itself to see if it's there. And if it's not there, well, that's it. The whole thing is dead. So those are some tips for searching the site using search engines. And that's all we're going to deal with in this session. So let's leave it at that and say thank you for watching.